There are places on Earth that seem permanent. Mountain ranges that have stood for millions of years. Ancient forests rooted in the same soil for centuries. Landscapes so familiar that it is easy to forget that our planet is still changing beneath our feet. But there is one island where change is impossible to ignore. An island where the ground can split apart without warning. Where rivers vanish beneath walls of ice. Where steam rises from the earth as if the planet itself is breathing. In some places, the land is so young that life has barely had time to claim it. In others, ice that fell as snow centuries ago continues its slow journey toward the sea. And beneath it all lies a force powerful enough to create entirely new landscapes. Most countries are built upon ancient foundations. This one is still under construction. Every year, the island changes. New cracks appear. Fresh lava hardens into stone. Glaciers carve new paths across the land. The earth rises, sinks, and shifts. Fire and ice exist side by side. Destruction and creation happen at the same time. And nowhere else on Earth reveals the hidden forces of our planet quite like Iceland. Iceland is often called the land of fire and ice. It is a phrase that appears in travel brochures and documentaries, but it barely captures what makes this island so extraordinary. Iceland is one of the youngest pieces of land on Earth. Unlike many countries whose landscapes were shaped millions of years ago, Iceland is still being formed today. The island sits directly on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a vast underwater mountain chain that marks the boundary between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. These plates are slowly pulling apart. In most places, this process happens deep beneath the ocean. In Iceland, it happens in plain sight. At the same time, a powerful hotspot beneath the island pushes molten rock toward the surface. The result is a landscape shaped by constant geological activity. Volcanoes build new land. Glaciers carve it away. Underground heat fuels geysers and hot springs. Few places on Earth allow us to witness these processes so clearly. Iceland is not simply a country. It is a living laboratory where the forces that shape our planet are visible every day. To understand Iceland is to understand the Earth itself. And nowhere is that more apparent than in its lava fields, glaciers, and geysers. If Iceland is still being built, the lava fields are its construction sites. Across the island, vast expanses of black rock stretch toward the horizon. At first glance, they can appear lifeless. The ground is jagged and uneven. Vegetation struggles to take hold. The landscape looks more like another planet than a place on Earth. But every lava field tells the story of an eruption. One of the most remarkable examples is Eldron. Created during a massive volcanic event in the 18th century, it covers hundreds of square kilometers. When the eruption began, enormous quantities of molten rock poured across the landscape. Entire valleys disappeared beneath lava. The flow continued for months. By the time it ended, one of the largest lava fields on Earth had been created. Today, much of Eldron is covered in thick green moss. From a distance, it almost looks soft. But beneath that blanket of moss lies a chaotic landscape of hardened lava. The contrast is striking. Violence hidden beneath tranquility. Creation emerging from destruction. Another example can be found in Holuhraun. In 2014, Iceland experienced one of its largest eruptions in modern times. For months, lava poured from a fissure in the remote highlands. Satellite images showed the landscape expanding as fresh rock spread across the surface. Thousands of years from now, geologists may look at Holuhraun the way we look at ancient lava fields today. What seems recent to us will become part of the island's geological history. The Reykjanes Peninsula offers another reminder that Iceland's story is still unfolding. After centuries of relative quiet, volcanic activity returned to the region in recent years. New fissures opened, lava flowed once again. People gathered at safe distances to watch the earth create new land before their eyes. There are few places where such a sight is possible. Most landscapes feel permanent. Iceland reminds us that permanence is often an illusion. The ground beneath our feet is constantly changing. We simply do not notice it most of the time. Here, the process is impossible to ignore. The lava fields reveal a simple truth. The Earth is not finished. It never has been. If lava represents creation, glaciers represent transformation. Nearly 11% of Iceland is covered by ice. These frozen giants dominate the landscape. They shape rivers, carve valleys, influence ecosystems, and store vast amounts of fresh water. The largest of them all is Vatnajökull. Covering more than 8,000 square kilometers, it is the largest glacier in Europe by volume. From above, it resembles a frozen continent. Its immense white surface stretches toward distant mountains and volcanic peaks. Yet despite its appearance, Vatnajökull is constantly moving. Glaciers are often imagined as stationary objects. In reality, they flow. Slowly and almost imperceptibly, gravity pulls the ice downhill. Over time, the glacier grinds against the rock beneath it. It carves valleys, shapes mountains, and transports enormous amounts of sediment. Entire landscapes can be transformed through this process. One of the most beautiful examples of glacial influence is Jökulsárlón. This famous glacial lagoon lies at the edge of Vatnajökull. Icebergs break away from the glacier and drift across the water. Some eventually reach the nearby coastline. There, they wash ashore on black volcanic sand. The sight is unforgettable. Crystal blue ice resting on dark volcanic beaches. A meeting of two opposite worlds. Ice and fire, frozen water, and ancient lava. Together they create one of Iceland's most iconic landscapes. But Iceland's glaciers are more than scenic wonders. They are records of the past. Each layer of ice contains information about the climate in which it formed. Scientists study these layers to better understand environmental changes over time. In this sense, glaciers function as natural archives. They preserve evidence that would otherwise be lost. Yet these archives are changing. Many of Iceland's glaciers have been shrinking in recent decades. As temperatures rise, ice retreats. New landscapes emerge where glaciers once stood. Lakes expand, rivers shift. The geography of the island evolves once again. This is not the first time Iceland has changed, nor will it be the last. The glaciers remind us that landscapes are never truly fixed. Even the largest and most powerful features of nature are part of an ongoing process. Given enough time, everything changes. In Iceland, that reality is visible everywhere. Beneath Iceland's glaciers and lava fields lies another force, a hidden world of heat. It reveals itself through hot springs, steam vents, and geysers. Of all Iceland's natural wonders, the geysers may be the most dramatic. The word geyser itself comes from Iceland. It originates from geysir, one of the country's most famous geothermal features. For centuries, visitors have traveled to witness the strange phenomenon. Water suddenly erupts into the air. Steam rises skyward. Then silence returns. Moments later, the cycle begins again. The explanation lies beneath the surface. Rainwater seeps deep into the ground. There, it encounters rocks heated by magma. The water becomes trapped under pressure. As temperatures rise, conditions become unstable. Eventually, the pressure becomes too great. The result is an eruption of hot water and steam. One of the most reliable examples is Strokkur. Located near Geysir, it erupts every few minutes. Visitors gather around the pool, watching the water begin to swell. A bubble forms. The surface stretches upward. Then, in an instant, a column of water shoots into the air. The display lasts only seconds, but it reveals something extraordinary. The immense energy hidden beneath the island. The geysers are part of a much larger geothermal system. Across Iceland, hot water rises naturally from underground reservoirs. This resource has transformed the country. Homes are heated using geothermal energy. Hot water is supplied directly from the earth. Power plants convert geothermal heat into electricity. Few nations make such extensive use of their geological resources. What makes this remarkable is that the same forces responsible for volcanic eruptions also provide practical benefits. The heat that creates danger can also provide energy. Destruction and usefulness emerge from the same source. This duality defines Iceland. The island exists because of geological instability. Its landscapes are shaped by powerful natural forces. Yet those same forces sustain modern life. The geysers offer a glimpse into this relationship. They are not merely tourist attractions. They are visible reminders of the dynamic planet beneath us. A reminder that even seemingly solid ground is alive with movement and energy. Among Iceland's lava fields and glaciers, the geysers reveal the deepest layer of the story. They show the engine driving everything else. The heat at the heart of the island, the lava fields, glaciers, and geysers may appear unrelated. One is formed by fire, another by ice, the third by underground heat. Yet all are connected. Together, they reveal the processes that shape our planet. The lava fields show how new land is created. The glaciers demonstrate how that land is transformed. The geysers reveal the energy hidden beneath it all. Each feature represents a different stage in a larger story, a story that has been unfolding for millions of years. What makes Iceland unique is not simply the presence of these forces. It is the fact that they exist together in one place. Few locations offer such a clear view of Earth's ongoing evolution. The island allows us to witness geological processes that are often hidden elsewhere. It reveals that landscapes are not static. Mountains rise, valleys deepen, ice advances and retreats. New land emerges from molten rock. The Earth is constantly changing. Human beings often think in terms of years or decades. Geological processes operate on entirely different timescales. Yet Iceland compresses those timescales into something we can observe. Visitors can watch fresh lava cooling into stone. They can see glaciers reshaping valleys. They can witness water erupting from underground reservoirs. The planet's hidden mechanisms become visible. Perhaps that is why Iceland fascinates so many people. It offers a rare opportunity to see Earth not as a finished world, but as a world still in progress. There is something unusual about standing in a place where the landscape feels unfinished. Most environments encourage a sense of permanence. Roads, buildings, forests, and mountains appear stable. They give the impression that the world has always been this way. Iceland challenges that perception. The island reminds us that every landscape has a history. Every mountain was formed. Every valley was carved. Every coastline was shaped by forces acting over immense periods of time. Here, those forces remain visible. They have not disappeared into the distant past. They continue their work today. Fresh lava hardens into rock. Glaciers slowly reshape the land. Underground heat searches for paths to the surface. The processes that created the world around us never stopped. We simply rarely notice them. Perhaps that is what makes Iceland so compelling. It offers a glimpse behind the curtain, a chance to see the mechanisms that normally remain hidden beneath the surface. Not as abstract scientific concepts, but as living realities. The island exists between extremes: fire and ice, creation and erosion, violence and beauty. And somehow, these opposites coexist. Together, they form one of the most remarkable landscapes on Earth. Iceland is often described as the land of fire and ice, but perhaps a more accurate description is something else. A place where Earth reveals itself. A place where the forces that shape our planet can still be seen in action. From vast lava fields to moving glaciers and erupting geysers, the island offers a rare glimpse into a world that is constantly changing. A reminder that the earth beneath our feet is not still. It never has been, and it never will be. Hidden Earth TV explores the most extraordinary landscapes, natural wonders, and remote places on our planet. Until next time, thank you for watching.